Hi there, Kris from Stone Age Gamer here, and welcome back to Stone Age Countdown. Let's talk a little bit about Atari games. Atari cartridges have seen a bit of a spike in popularity lately, and that's probably because the Atari 2600 Plus is out there in the world and people are looking for cartridges to play on their fancy new systems. So, which ones do you get? That's the question, and I thought that would make a really fun, one of the top 5 Atari games to get for an Atari 2600 Plus, but there are so many to choose from. There are a lot of really great Atari games out there. So I thought it would be fun to put a whole bunch of arbitrary limits on it and come up with a top 5 list of games that are published by Atari that aren't available in current compilations anywhere on current generation platforms and are relatively inexpensive to get. Easy to track down, Atari published Atari games that'll work in your 2600 Plus. These are my top 5. Let's take a look.
Number 5. Jungle Hunt. Is Pitfall a better game than Jungle Hunt? Sure. But do you get to stab an alligator in the face in Pitfall? I think not. Also sometimes known as Jungle King or Pirate Pete, Jungle Hunt is quite an extraordinary game on 2600. Other flavors might have better visuals overall, but Atari's version just plays so well. It's simple, effective, and that jingle really sticks with you. You play as an explorer whose girlfriend who has been kidnapped by cannibals. Stage 1 as you swing from vines, Stage 2 as you surviving a croc-infested river, Stage 3 as you dodging boulders, and finally Stage 4 requires you get past the dancing cannibals to save your beloved. I played a metric ton of this game as a kid, and it's still one of my go-to games on Atari today. Number 4. Midnight Magic. Yes, there are better pinball simulations out there. Heck, most would argue this isn't even the best pinball game on the 2600. But there's something, well, magic about this game that's always held a really firm grip on me. It's got the right shaped table, which video pinball definitely doesn't. It animates extremely well for an Atari 2600 game, and I just find it relentlessly entertaining. It's an adaptation of David's Midnight Magic from Broderbund, which released for various home computers back in its day, and I know it doesn't look like much in direct comparisons, but I still think it's a blast. Number 3. Defender. Defender is a bona fide arcade classic, but for my money, and maybe it's just the nostalgia talking, I'll take the Atari 2600 version over the arcade original any day of the week. The arcade game is extremely challenging and features a very unconventional control scheme. Atari's adaptation still poses a challenge, but it feels so much more intuitive to control. It's also a really cool looking and sounding game. Seriously, the sounds this game makes are extremely aggressive, and they have stuck with me. There are some fun game variations too that up the difficulty, but really I've always found it plenty challenging as is. There are a lot of great ways to play Defender out there, but this one is my favorite. Number 2. Junior PacMan. Atari really borked their port of the original PacMan on 2600, but they made up for it with an exceptionally fun version of its follow-up, Ms. PacMan. What a lot of folks don't realize is that they didn't stop there. There was a third PacMan game on 2600, and it's arguably even better than its arcade counterpart. Junior PacMan didn't do much to move the needle in arcades, but on 2600 it's positively stunning. The stages scroll vertically, it's super fast-paced, and it plays silky smooth. In case you've never messed with Junior PacMan before, the wrinkle here, besides the extra-large playfields, is that the bonus items bounce around the stage, enlarging the dots as they pass. Each one of the enlarged dots becomes worth more points, but they also take longer to eat and slow you down, so if you're being chased by a ghost, they can spell certain doom. Also, the bonus items can detonate power pellets if they come into contact with them, which you definitely don't want to happen. This is one of the most fun games of PacMan I've ever played, and a real technical showpiece for the Atari 2600. Number 1. Space Invaders. Wait, can I play Space Invaders anywhere? Of course you can. Space Invaders and its various sequels and spin-offs are likely regularly available on your platform of choice right now, but not this version, which also happens to be one of the best. Atari's take on Taito's all-time classic is the pinnacle of simple yet addictive gameplay. At its core, it's just a really solid playing version of Space Invaders, which honestly would have been enough, but what really sets this game apart are its variations. Shields can move around, your ship can get twice as wide, laser blasts can zigzag, there's even an invisible invaders mode. It's simply one of the most fun iterations of Space Invaders ever crafted. And the sound! This game makes a hilarious fart noise whenever you die. What kid wouldn't love that?
Well, there you have it. That's my list of Atari-published games that aren't available on compilations that are easy to find and inexpensive, not including third-party stuff. Because if I had included third-party stuff, it basically would have been a stack of iMagic and Activision games, because, man, Pitfall 2 is great, Mega Mania is great, Demon Attack is great. I'm a big fan of California games for Atari 2600. That's one of my favorites. But I could go on and on. The Atari is a great platform, and I'm glad there's so many more people giving it a go with the existence of the 2600 Plus, because the cartridges, they're out there. And I know there's some really expensive kind of collector's items ones, but some of the best stuff on that platform is still just a couple of bucks at most, which is really great to see. So, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw here today, please follow, comment, like, subscribe, share, and let us know down in the comments which games do you think people should get for an Atari 2600 Plus, or even an original 2600 if they're going that route. If you're trying to get into Atari for the first time, you don't want to spend a ton of money, what cartridges do you recommend getting? Try to limit it to 5. It's harder than you'd think. And that's all I got. Thanks again, everyone. On behalf of all of us here at Stone Age Gamer, keep playing games. Oh, yeah. Ooh, how do you miss me? Oh, he's back that way. I see him.